Welcome to WebStyleBrush. Let's talk about quote and quotation marks. There's actually a CSS property called quotes. There's a Q tag that inserts quotation marks automatically for text inside QHTML tag. Then there is issue with the shape of quotation marks. Let's talk about all that in this video. Quotation marks are used to highlight something or to represent exact language, either spoken or written, that has come from somebody else. There are many use cases for quotes and quotation marks, and it is used in web pages. Ever saw testimonials displayed on a website? Those use quotation marks, right? In HTML, we have block quote tag, Q tag, and cite tag to quote something. Q and cite are inline elements. Q tag and cite tag generate inline elements in HTML. Essentially, Q, block quote, and cite elements are used when we are quoting someone. Okay, one way to use quotation marks is to use the single or double opening and closing quote characters in paragraph. For example, here is a simple paragraph. This is opening double quote character, and this is closing double quote character. But these opening double quote and closing double quote are not impressive. Also, shape is not right. This shape, this is dumb shape, dumb quotes. Many devs use before and after CSS pseudo elements to add quotation marks to a paragraph. For example, here is another paragraph with class regular. This is my CSS area, regular. Let's apply some styles. For the div, positional div, padding 0, 40 pixels, and then and before and after. Content and position absolute. For after pseudo element, content and position absolute. Save. And we have got our quotes here, but let's style these properly. For opening quote, font weight bold, font size color green, and top position and left position. And for closing quote, similarly, font weight bold, font size color green, and some bottom and right space. But still, do you see these shapes, these quotes? To use better shape, use Georgia font family. Now see, this is better now. But now we have got another problem. This closing double quote is at the right bottom and not where the text ends. Shouldn't this ending quote be here instead of here? We have used positioning. We can position it here, but what if this text changes and increases or decreases? So in this scenario, by using CSS pseudo elements, we are bound by this. This closing quote will be at the right corner and cannot be added right after text. To solve that, we will use quotes CSS property and open quote and close quote values for content CSS property in pseudo elements. So here is some more HTML, again in div, and it has got class second. Let's style second. This is our div. position relative, and some padding from left. Then we have got before and after CSS pseudo elements. Here is some styling for before element, font size, color green, position absolute, top and left positioning, and font family Georgia. And here is some styling for after element. Same font size, bottom absolute, color, and font family. What we can use for this div is quotes. I am using two characters in quotes. This opening double quote character and closing double quote character. Save. Nothing happened here. But then what we can do with this quotes, we can use content CSS property and use open quote here. And here for the after element we can use close quote. And now you can see amazingly this ending quote is right after where text is ending. Save. Let me demonstrate that. And let's increase text. And you can see this ending quote shifts its position. And now it's here. So this is a way to use quotation marks by using only before and after pseudo CSS elements. But this is better way. Use quotes, and then for the before and after elements use open quote and close quote. And by the way, in this CSS property quotes, you can use any character and it will accept it. Now in this example, quotation marks are at position where it should be. Now there's a Q tag that is inline tag in HTML. And you see we didn't use any CSS for this, and we just used our Q tags here. Q tag starting and ending Q tag, and then there are bunch of Q tags with the text inside this. These are nested Q tags, and we didn't use any CSS here, but you can see quotation marks here, double quotation marks at the outer side, and for inner quotes we can see single quotation marks. Use Q tag and browser will add quotation marks for you. Q tags can be nested inside each other. It can be used to write quote inside another quote or to highlight something further inside a quote. We can modify Q tag by using CSS. Q before and after elements. Let's adjust font for the quotes and color. Right now Q tag is using pattern like this. You can change these quotation marks to fit your needs. First pair of quotation marks in it is for parent Q tag, and second is for inner Q tags. You can also use this quote CSS property like this. Then as you can see, inner Q tags are also using double quotation marks now. You can also specify these characters in Unicode. Or like this. Now these are all single quotation marks. Or this is like this one. So there are ways to style your quotation marks. This CSS for Q tag is not needed, but in case of Q tag, you can style its quotation marks easily by using these techniques. In my opinion, use Q tag to quote something rather than using custom markup with CSS pseudo elements to display quotation marks. Then we have block quote. Block quote HTML tag. It's a good tag, but it's block level element. To add quotation marks for block quote, we can use quote CSS property. Color and font family Georgia for quotation marks. For block quote, quotes CSS property. Before pseudo element, content CSS property, values open quote, and here for after close quote. Save. And to quote something, we have another HTML tag, that is site HTML tag. It does not need quotation marks, but I will show you something in it. Let's say this is our quote. We have used text and enclosed that text inside Q tag. And here is how we cite something by using cite tag. When we use cite tag, it makes text italic, and this character and m dash is for this dash line. So I like to use this method to quote something, or this Q tag. And I have got something more. Quotation marks are characters, and we also have their entity number to use as value of content CSS property in pseudo CSS elements. So here is this table. You can use these entity numbers or these characters to display quotation marks in your HTML or CSS. So these were quotes and quotation marks, and many ways you can use these in HTML, or you can style these in HTML, and you can always improve these by using CSS. Okay, like, share, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.